any pre-announcement, but I will share this later on. This is all just something I'm working out what I'm going to say as I say it, because I wanted to do a quick announcement video about the Extreme Improv XStreamed World Championship. I'm just going to make sure that you guys can actually hear me. Yeah, you can. That's perfect. So, yes, this month there would normally be the Edinburgh Fringe and the Camden Fringe and all these festivals and comedy shows and improv for everyone to enjoy. But unfortunately, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So that has somewhat put the kibosh on things a little bit. I know in certain ways we've tried to continue online, as we're going to be talking about shortly, and I know that in a little bits of ways here and there that live theatre is creeping back. However, I know that we're a long way from completely having live theatre back, so I'm just making sure that we are in fact live. I believe we are. But what I want to be talking to you about is what's happening with the Extreme Improv XStreamed World Championship. Now, this is a festival of sorts that will be going across the entire month of August. We've done a little bit of a soft launch because it's grown. It was originally planned to be a UK championship that would be happening in real life. But now it's moved online and it's become a world championship. And in moving to become a world championship and getting some guest acts involved, in the absence of there being live theatre and comedy, as I mentioned earlier, lots of people have wanted to get involved. So it's continually growing and expanding. And I've literally been referring to, well, yeah, I have been referring to, but I've been liaising, there we go, with some of the groups and workshop leaders and everything as we're going along here today, and I'm sure like a message just popped up. So let me tell you a little bit about what is coming up this month, because you're going to be hearing an awful lot about it in the coming days, in the coming weeks, and I'm going to just bring it up here. This isn't meant to be a super polished video. This is just me talking and telling everyone about the stuff that's going on. Now, for anyone who did manage to see it, on Saturday last week, the 1st of October, what are you talking about? The 1st of August. You can tell how tired I am. The 1st of August, we started things off by showing a live recording that we got last year of our Extreme Improv comedy show from the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre from May the 4th last year, and we shared that in its entirety for everyone to share, so do check that out on the Extreme Improv page. Hopefully we'll get some more live recordings up in the coming days and weeks. But what else have we got coming up this month? So this Wednesday, Thursday and Friday we're going to have our usual Extreme Improv XStreamed videos, our live streaming shows, and we're going to have a guest on our Wednesday show who will be providing some music for us. That's Daniel Lopez is a musician. I believe he's from Spain off the top of my head, and he's going to be providing some music for the show done live, which is going to be very exciting. On Thursday and Friday we're going to have our usual matinee show, but on Thursday we're going to be trying out lots of the new games, and here comes a plug, that have recently been published in the Extreme Improv Big Book of Improv Games, so check that out on Amazon. But this isn't all about Extreme Improv, because we are going to have lots of other guest acts, guest workshops, and all sorts of other things throughout this month. To talk about some of the guest acts we have, we're going to have the Electric Head, which are really fun to prov, I suppose, although they might have some other people working with them as well. I've guested on their show in the past, and that's going to be on the Thursday the 14th, or Friday the 14th? Friday the 14th of August. We're going to have Ashkey as our opening act for an Extreme Improv show on Saturday the 15th, and we're going to have the Comedy Frenzy as a guest show following an Extreme Improv show also on the 15th. Let's see what other ones we're going to have. Third Person Theatre as a guest show on the 17th, and that's a dramatic improv show which is going to be very exciting to see. I've literally just confirmed, hello Annie if you're out there, that we're going to have the Contrived and Insufferable podcast, which I believe is for the 19th of August, followed by Improv Chattanooga, all the way from Chattanooga, Tennessee, with the Secret History of the World show at 10 p.m. UK time. All of the times I mentioned are UK times, but that will also be on the 19th of August. Having a little look here, we're going to have a guest show on the 22nd. We're going to have lots of guest shows on various dates, but this is going to be the brothers Jack Oakes, and they're a two-prov who are actual brothers. I thought there was only one of them pretending to be two, but it turns out there are actually two of them, so that's going to be a fun two-prov show. Speaking of two-prov shows, on the 23rd, we're going to have the Bromantic Duo, who are a two-prov short form act from India. We're also going to have Screenplay, the improvised... Oh, so we're going to have the improvised play by Screenplay, which are a group from the United States. What else are we going to have? We're going to have another show from Improv Chattanooga that night as well. We're going to have... I'm going to get this wrong as well, so I apologise in advance. This is what happens when you do something live. But we've got a group that I mentioned him earlier. So this week we're going to have a guest musician, which is Daniel Lopez. Now he has got a show which is going to be performed entirely in Spanish, and that's going to be on the 24th, and that's El Complenos de... No, I can't pronounce it. I'm very sorry. I'll learn and then I'll get it right after that. So what else have we got? We're going to have Improbotics, which is a fun-looking show and a very interesting show that's got like artificial intelligence, like it's improv with a robot, which sounds absolutely incredible. And we've got some other shows lined up. This is just, I've skimmed through this. There are loads of others that we've got lined up. Some that we're still confirming that are very exciting. But that's just the guest shows that we've got coming up this month. In terms of what else we've got coming up this month, we've also got a load of workshops. Now, I can say that all of the shows I've just mentioned will be completely free to watch. They're going to be streaming on www.facebook.com/extreme improv. They'll be on youtube.com/extreme improv, twitch.tv/extreme improv. I'll tell you a couple of other places where you can find us. Unfortunately, Mixer has gone away, so we're no longer on Mixer. But if you follow Extreme Improv on Twitter, then you'll be able to watch any of the shows there. All of these shows are completely interactive, so we'll be asking for suggestions of scenes, characters, stories, this kind of things, and you'll be able to write comments and give us feedback along the way. So there's another platform which some of you sneakily come onto our streams from DLive. If you're on dlive.com/extreme improv, you'll be able to see the shows. We're on Dailymotion, we're on Steam, we're on LinkedIn even. Wherever you like to watch your live streams, you'll be able to find us. But, so all of those are completely free to watch. We do have one thing throughout the festival, which is a paid thing, and I want to be upfront about the fact that it's a paid thing, and that is the workshops. We've got some fantastic workshop leaders lined up. I will just briefly run through who the workshop leaders are, and I'll see if I can quickly come up with the titles. Yep. So, this upcoming Saturday at 6 p.m. UK time, once again these are all UK time, 6 p.m. I will be teaching a workshop which is going to be, if I can find the name for it, oh yeah, so it's a free, so I said these ones would be paid, but this one is free, just to show everyone what's coming up in the month. I'll be doing another paid one later on in the month, but I'll get to that later. But I will be giving a free 90-minute taster for playing some improv games, in which I'll also tell everyone a little bit about all of the workshops that we've got coming up as well. And so that's going to be an improv games taster workshop with me this Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time. Let's have a look what else we've got lined up. We're going to have the Game of the Herald with Francisco Antolon. So that's if everyone wants to learn how to do a Harold, which is a long form improv format. Do check that out. Francisco is from Mexico, so that's a fantastic thing. One of the best things about what's happening with lockdown and like how we're adapting to be able to do new things and find new creative ways to do things that we couldn't even do before, that we found during lockdown in these dark times, is that we're connecting with people all over the world, which is a big part of what this World's Championship Festival is all about. So Francisco Antolon is from Mexico, and he'll be teaching the workshop called Game of the Harold. After that, we're going to, and that's on Sunday the 16th. A day before that, my notes aren't quite in the right order here, we're going to have Celebrate Your Weirdness with Sarah Davies. And that's going to be amazing. I have seen a picture from this workshop on Facebook from when I think she did it recently, and she was dressed as like a prawn or a crab or a lobster or something. I don't know if that's a spoiler, so apologies, Sarah, but it's out there on public social media. It looks bonkers. So if you think you're a bit weird, don't be ashamed. Celebrate your weirdness. We're also going to have a improv crash course with Stephen Disbro. So Diz often appears on the Extreme Improv XStreamed shows, and he's a great guy. So he'll take you through a crash course of improv. So for beginners out there or people that just want to brush up on stuff, I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. We're going to have a singing technique for improvisers class with Rhiannon Jenkins later on in the month. That's Monday the 24th. I've literally just confirmed another singing based one, but whereas singing techniques for improvisers with Rhiannon will probably be like singing like you might find on pop songs, and I'm not very good at singing to be able to describe this well, I apologise. We'll also have Annie Harris doing an improv rap workshop, which is super exciting. Literally just confirming that one, so I don't have the full details to tell you more of that, but Annie is one of our original extreme improvisers, going back for 3 years, so that's fantastic for Annie to be doing that for us. The details on all of these are going to be going up on our website, www.extremeimprov.co.uk tomorrow. There may also be one or two other workshops that we'll be having this month, but we're not going to overload people with workshops, so we'll want to keep all of them feeling unique and everything. So look out for all of those. But you may have noticed that within this I've skipped over all of the things that Extreme Improv are going to be doing. And you may at this point be wondering, why is it called the Extreme Improv XStreamed World Championship? Well, let's start with the main event in terms of Extreme Improv's input into the festival. From August 10th through to August 16th, we're going to be holding a week-long tournament version of our show. So anyone who's ever seen the Extreme Improv show in person, thank you very much. But you'll have seen that we have a group of improvisers playing fun and creative improv challenges. And by the end of the show, one person walks away being able to say that they became the Extreme Improv champion, complete with being the holder of the Extreme Improv Championship belt. Got it just there, but if you haven't seen it, you'll see it again soon. Now, on the Extreme shows that we've been doing every Wednesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. UK time, and every Friday at 12 p.m. for our Friday matinee, we compete to become the Extreme Improv XStreamed champion. So this is going to take that concept and actually make it so instead of winning a show, meaning you're the champion, the performers are going to have to compete across an entire week. There will be quarter-final rounds, there will be semi-final rounds, then there will be a grand finale, and whoever progresses through the tournament at the end of it will become the Extreme Improv XStreamed world champion. And this will be the first time we've ever crowned someone to be an Extremed world champion. And there will only be one person who gets that honour this entire year. So it'll be a little bit like how you have a Wimbledon champion or the snooker world championship. So it won't be a title that changes hand from show to show. It will just be who gets the honour to be the champion this year. Now, tomorrow I am going to publish the brackets of who are in the shows, but I've got them in front of me right here. And there may be some juggling involved because this is Zoom and I know that there's going to be some lag issue or the internet explodes or something or other. So we're going to get through this as best we can. But let's just run through. And like I said, I'll publish these for people to see online tomorrow. There's still a couple of people where we're waiting for the 100% confirmation. But it's looking incredibly exciting. So let's explain this a little bit. There are going to be 8 quarterfinal rounds. They take place on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And there are 2 quarterfinal rounds per night. The way it works is that there will be the first one at 7 p.m. and the second one at 8:30 p.m. each night. Each quarterfinal round will last approximately an hour and a half. Anyone who's watched any of our regular shows will know that the way it works is that we'll ask the audience for suggestions and we'll also ask the audience to vote on certain things. Now, we'll usually end our shows, our extreme shows, with a little bit of a tournament doing impressions, but we're going to mix it up slightly here. The impressions tournament will still be a feature of the shows, but it won't be the deciding factor on who goes through to the next round. This will be 99% down to you, the audience. Audience out there, you will have the opportunity to vote at the end of the show for who you want to progress through. There will be up to 8 performers per show, and 2 performers will go through from each of the quarterfinal rounds. So there will be 8 to begin each quarterfinal round, or up to 8, as long as lag and things don't prevent it, but up to 8 per quarterfinal round. And 2 will go through, and these will be based on who gets the most votes at the end. When I say there'll be 99% down to the audience decision, I will not be competing as I normally do in the shows, just to keep things impartial and fair. I will be acting purely as the MC. Doesn't mean that I can't sneak into a scene here or there, but I'm not eligible to win the championship. But if there is something where we've got a tiebreaker, or if a situation calls for it, then I may have to step in to make a decision. And if I make a judge's decision, that will be final. You have been warned. And so let's run through some of the names, some of the amazing names. We've got performers from all over the world who are going to be competing in this. We've got performers from the United Kingdom, a bunch of performers who have performed on the show before, loads of performers who have never performed on an extreme improv show before. So we've got performers from the United Kingdom, we've got performers from the United States, we've got performers from Canada, we've got performers from Spain, from Germany, from India, from Venezuela. I think the time difference, time zones things, means that some of our Australian friends who would like to have joined haven't been able to. But who knows, we have our Friday matinees, so I might see if we can have a little bit of a down under cup or something. And then, if all being well, if we do this next year, I might choose a more world time zone, international friendly something or other. We'll see. It's a little bit of work in progress. But let's have a look at some of the names. So, the brackets are, as they currently stand, Monday the 10th of August, 7 p.m. Confirmed names are Al Ronald, who has performed on our show many times before, from the Electric Head. Donovan Santiago from the United States, I believe he's from New York. Danny O'George from the Portsmouth Improv Experience. It's just a coincidence at the moment I know which groups or which places these people are from. They won't be able to continue. We'll have Shalita Chapman from Improv Chattanooga in this group. Ravij Singh from India will also be in it, and then I have a couple more which I just need to 100% confirm, but there are couple more in that bracket. The 8:30 p.m. bracket, we have Joss Hernandez. Oh, actually, I've literally just got the confirmation there that for the August 10th 7 p.m. slot will be Emma Wilner, who I believe is in Manchester in the United Kingdom. So thank you for confirming as we speak they're live. So 8:30 p.m. on Monday, bracket 2, we're going to have Joss Hernandez. We're going to have Ruth Curtis, who is from Banbury in the UK, I believe. We're going to have Hannah McGowan, who I think is in Liverpool. We're going to have Adam Hughes, one of the Extreme Improv originals. We're going to have Diz, who I mentioned will be running workshops from Improv Chattanooga. We'll have Alan Lear, who has performed with us mostly a couple of times in real life, but mostly on the Extremed shows as well, will be joining us. We're going to have on Tuesday at our 7 p.m. slot on the 11th of August, Deirdre Verdolino. Apologies if I'm getting any of these names wrong. Deirdre has been on our podcast before. She's been on our streams before, so it'll be great to have her. We're going to have PJ Jack Oakes, who will be doing one of the guest shows with us as well. We'll have Ramin. Ramin's one of the Bromantic duo, and I've just written down Ramin without writing down his last name. I'm so sorry, Ramin. We're going to have Leon Bukowski, who I believe he's English. I forget where he's from, the United Kingdom certainly, but he's currently in Penang, so we've got someone from Malaysia, even though they're not from Malaysia, if you know what I mean. We're going to have another one, I've just written down their first name, Augusto, who is in Brazil, so hey Augusto. I should write down everyone's names, not just their first names on occasion. And Beth Long from Improv Chattanooga will also be joining us on that show. And a couple more to 100% confirm. Then our next slot is going to have Brian Armstrong, who I believe is an American, but works with the Portsmouth Improv Experience in the UK. We'll have Marty Gordon, who I'm 99% sure is an American, unless I've just misunderstood this. We'll have JJ Hazan, who has been on the Extreme shows for a couple of months now. And then who else we're going to have? Rachel Cader. I forget where you're from, Rachel, but it's going to be exciting to have you. And Ione Brown, who's one of the Extreme Improv regular performers. Then on our next day, Wednesday the 12th, we're going to have Asad Khan from the Bromantic Juno from the Bromantic Duo, who works with Ramin, who I mentioned earlier. Andrew Whittington, who has been doing the Extreme shows for the last month or two. Bridget Hemingway will be joining us. I forget where you're from, Bridget. I should have written this down on my notes. Ewan Henderson and Gavin Smith. Gavin actually performed with us in our penultimate show before lockdown began, and that was actually in Portsmouth. And I believe Adam Courting, who's performed with Extreme Improv a bunch of times before, done one or two of the shows and lots of our podcasts. He's going to be joining us, and that's on the Wednesday. Wow, getting through this. Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. we're going to have Jana Gillis, Crystal Wood, Ellie Gill, who's one of our long-term Extreme Improv performers, Dave Green, who's been on so many of the Extreme shows, feels like one of the absolute regulars now, has been on the Radio Rumble shows as well, Maggie O'Neill, and Sarah Davies, who has been doing her Improv Gym workshops and other things, and she will also be part of the Improbotics guest show that we've got. Thursday the 13th, we have Elkie. Elkie, I'm so sorry I didn't write down your last name. Elkie, who will be doing the guest show Ashkey with Ashley, and that's why I just wrote down first names there. We'll also have Ankar Sardana, Steve Mariani, Mitri, I haven't written down your last name, and I believe Vicky Poole, who performs with Extreme Improv and has done for the last 3 years. Then on the last bracket, it sounds like it's taken a long time, but we're getting there through it. We're going to have Ashley Edwards, Samuel O'George, Zach Kelly, ZZ, I haven't written down your last name, but I've got ZZSH, so that's interesting, and Miranda Dorr, who's been performing with us for a few years as well. And there's still a couple more gaps who I just need to get the 100% confirmation for those time slots. But that is about 50 performers. 50 performers will enter this tournament in the quarterfinals. 2 will go through from each round, which will bring us to our Friday and Saturday semi-final rounds. Now, the way that is going to work is on the semi-final rounds. Once again, the audience will vote to see who they want to go through. There will also be a little bit of judges' decision there, just because making sure it's all fair. But 4 performers out of 8 from each round will progress through to the finale. So in the semi-final rounds, instead of 2 going through, 4 will go through, because they're going to be slightly longer shows. 8 p.m. on the Friday, 8 p.m. on the Saturday, and that is the 14th and 15th, and they will progress through to the grand finale, which will be on the 16th. There will be 8 performers in the grand finale, and they will have an improv battle royale. They will have an improv war. It will be a friendly war, but it will be a war to decide after 50 people who will become this year's and the first ever Extreme Improv XStreamed World Champion. Now, I'm not going to keep this going for too much longer. I didn't actually plan to go through all of the names, but I thought it might be fun to announce them in at least some way here. But I will just briefly tell you some of the other things that Extreme Improv have got coming up from our side of things for this festival. So like I mentioned, we're still going to have our usual Wednesday and Thursday shows at 8:30 p.m. each week, except for during the tournament, of course, and our Friday matinee, which is at 12 p.m. We're also going to have, if you weren't aware, Extreme Improv do a lot of podcasts. So we're going to be sharing some previously unseen Extreme Improv Radio Rumble podcasts that we recorded right up until lockdown. Most of them have been shared, but there's about 4 or 5 that haven't been aired before, and we're going to replay those for people to be able to see. We'll also show some more live recordings that we've done in theatres before, which will include more shows from the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre, perhaps our show from the Nottingham Glee Club and the Camden Comedy Club and some other places. We've done shows all over, so we're going to share some of those from the archive. We're also going to have other podcasts. We're going to have, what are we going to have? We're going to have our Games Monster podcast. So for video game fans out there, this week on Wednesday, in fact, Ashara Perez, saying that wrong, and myself will talk some video games at 2 p.m. We're going to have the Superkick Mania Pro Wrestling podcast. Still planned to be each Friday, and that's usually 2 or 3 p.m. So check that out. And we're going to have some Mega Movie podcasts, some Extreme Improv chat shows where I'll be chatting improv with lots of people. And as I mentioned earlier, the Contrived and Insufferable podcast will be joining us as a guest podcast during the month, so check those guys out as well. We're also, as you may have seen in the past, had the Extreme Improv Games Night, where we've played things like Dungeons and Dragons and Paranoia and other RPG role-playing games. This month we're going to have at least a couple of those, and that will include on the 21st of August, we're going to have a special called Revenge of the Werewolf. That's Revenge of the Werewolf on August 21st to look out for. And there's going to be lots of improv jams. All the details of these will be flooding Facebook and our website in the next 24 hours. So go to www.extremeimprov.co.uk or facebook.com/extremeimprov for the details on all of the things, and check back regularly because more things are being added all of the time. And if you want people to be able to find these, do share with people. Do share with people. And help everyone share it and enjoy it and find it so that we can all give suggestions and vote on things together, and help keep improv alive during this pandemic time. So I'm going to wrap this up here, just because this was a very brief explanation. Don't know how many people have been watching, because it was a last minute thing where I decided let's just do this announcement here. As you can see, there's been all of these pieces to juggle. I also do want to give a shout out to the Improv Boost, who are our official sponsor for this. They're affiliated to us for the World Championship Festival. So I really want to thank the Improv Boost. If you don't know who the Improv Boost are, it's run by a chap called David Escobedo, and he does so much work to help promote improv out there. So it's really fantastic resource if you're a fan of improv and part of the improv community. Do connect with David, do connect with the Improv Boost. If you've got shows and things, he will share it for you. He will tell people about workshops you've got coming up and all of the good stuff you're doing. So he wants to help everyone grow in the improv community. Also wants to give out another shout out and thanks to Asad Khan from the Bromantic Duo, because he's been very supportive, helping connect some of these guest acts we've got there, so you definitely deserve a shout out. And to Diz from Improv Chattanooga, who has volunteered to help host some of these shows, especially when things go late night here in the UK. So there'll be some of these things hosted with Improv Chattanooga's channel, which you can find on Twitch. So I think that's all of the plugs and everyone I needed to thank at this stage. I'll make a much better job of shouting out and thanking everyone much more articulately for a later video, but I just did want to get this video out there. I'm going to do some of these update videos throughout the month, so look out for these and I'll give you updates on things we've got coming up. So with that, I am going to wrap this one here. Feels very, very weird to do an extreme improv related stream without other people on there, because normally the extreme shows usually have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guests or whatever on here with me. So it just feels weird. For all I know, this literally hasn't worked at all, and I've just been talking to myself for 20 or so minutes. Anyway, I'm going to say ta-ra for now. So stay safe, stay happy, and stay extremed. Bye for now.